Why hello! My name is Matthew Sparrow, and in this video presentation, we are going to be talking about maintaining our health, nutrition, and SMART goals. Wow, 3 topics in one video! It's gonna be a fun one, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
So there's 3 main ways that we can do to keep ourselves healthy. What's the first one that comes to mind? That's right. Don't eat junk food. And we'll go more on all of this in a minute. What's the second idea that we can think of to keep ourselves healthy? Well, I'm waiting for your response. Are you going to answer? That's right, exercise. Thank you, Matthew.
Can I get some extra fries, please?
Sir, he said exercise, not extra fries. That'll be $3.99 at the next window.
And then what's the third way that we can think of to keep ourselves healthy? Yes, sleep. Sleep is a great way to keep ourselves healthy.
How do we know if we're healthy?
Watch this video and you'll be able to find out.
And here we are in front of the Bush's store, and I'm going to take you guys inside to show you different options that you can do to try and maintain your health and be overall more healthy. Come on.
Hello.
How you doing? Do you know how to...
Okay.
Which of these corns you think about getting?
Well, I'm not sure, honestly, because I want to get the one that's healthiest for my family. So one says no salt, one says 50% less salt or sodium, and one says with sea salt. And I'm not sure which one to pick because I want one that's tasty but also healthy.
Well, there's a great way that we can know, and that's just by looking at the food labels. Now, when you look at the food label, there's a lot of things here, but the main thing to know is there's a daily limit. So for example, if we're going to be looking at something like sodium, we're going to want to look at the fact that this specific one, the no salt added, only has our total value of actually 0% with an undrained, and also 0% of our daily sodium limit, because it's so little that this one, the no salt added, would be a lot better compared to something that we would assume the 50% less sodium. And if we take a look here, going specifically for sodium, this is drinking basically like a soup, the half cup, that would be 7%, and then the drained would be only 5% of your daily limit.
Okay.
But then if we go right back to the made with sea salt, we check here, and back to sodiums, 14 and 9%, with drained and with undrained and drained. Now,
and that's a half a cup?
And all of these are the same exact half a cup.
Okay, so I see this is a half a cup, the undrained, and the drained is a third cup, and it's the same here. Undrained is a half a cup, drained is a third cup, and then the no salt, a half a cup and a third cup. Okay, so these are all the same.
Exactly. So now the best way to find one is to try and get the least amount of sodium possible.
Well, then how do I make it taste good, though?
Now, salt is something that's going to make it taste a lot better,
Okay.
but it's also not going to be a good thing to have a whole bunch of.
Right.
The best option, of course, would be to leave the can aisle and come with me. So basically, the best thing that you're going to want to be able to find, especially when it comes to fruits and vegetables, is your fresh fruits and vegetables. Specifically ones that are in season. Like, for example, if we looked at this corn right here. Okay? This looks like, honestly, some great corn. I might get this and eat this later because this looks amazing. But it's going to be your overall healthiest and most nutrient packed, especially while it's in season. Because the canned ones get put inside of the cans whenever part of the year that it's done and ready to be farmed up. Then they fill it all with like their sodiums and all their preservatives to make sure that it actually stays ready for you to eat whenever you want. After that, then it just sits on a shelf for who knows how long until their expiration date, which usually is like 10 to 30 years. So when it comes to exercise, there are plenty of things that you can do. And I don't want to hear that I can't drive to the gym as an excuse. It's not an excuse. Well, it's a valid point, but it's not an excuse not to do exercise. So, because of that, I'm imagining you're wondering, if I go to the gym, how am I going to be lifting my weights? Well, let me show you something. This is a gallon jug. So basically, little known fact, 1 gallon of water is equal to how many pounds? That's right, 8 pounds. So, by literally just getting this gallon of jug, which is not even $5 at the convenience store, you A, get a gallon of drinking water, B, now have a jug that you can fill it up with the tap, assuming that's not what you're already using, and now you have a weight that you can curl 8 pounds. If this was full, it would be 8 pounds. So, boom, there's your first exercise equipment that you can do at home without even needing to go to a different location.
But I don't have a treadmill. How am I supposed to walk?
You go to the school every day, don't you?
Yeah, I go to school. I take the bus every single day.
Okay, so then all you gotta do is just walk to the bus stop after school, go up and down the street a few times, maybe go around the block if you have one, and there you go. It might be boring, but you are still getting in your miles that you otherwise weren't going to be getting. Plus, if a man can literally run a 5K in a bathroom stall on an airplane, look it up, then I think you can get in your miles doing that way.
She's a runner, she's a track star. She gon' run away when it gets hard.
Ah, spaghetti. Ah, ravioli. Ah, mamma mia.
Sleep is super important for being overall healthy. It helps you get better exercise and get better muscle growth. Without sleep, your body will start to shut down. In fact, according to the Cleveland Clinic, when you are constantly sleep deprived, it can start to give you problems when it comes to your immune system being able to fight off sicknesses, or the ability to not get type 2 diabetes. So please get your rest and make sure you get a solid 8 hours at least every single night. Sleep well.
Now, if you do all of these steps, you will be able to keep yourself a lot more healthy, and you'll feel a lot better about yourself because you are overall more healthy.
Wow, now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Well, this is all some great info to have, but if you can't make a smart, healthy choice and be able to stick with it, because the main thing is actually sticking with it. You can make a plan, but being able to stick to that goal is going to be the biggest challenge. So we're going to use a little thing we like to call SMART goals. SMART, S-M-R-T. That's not right. SMART goals. So what does this acronym stand for? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So let's go into each one specifically, breaking it down each letter one by one. So let's look at these 5 goals. The 5 words, actually, wait, no, that's 6. Whoops. So basically, the 5 parts of SMART goals. Let's start out with S, specific. So you have to pick a goal and then be very specific about it. You can't just say, I'm gonna lose weight. You can't just say that. So for our example, we're gonna say, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds. Mostly because that's the amount of fingers I have on my hand and it's easier to show. So if we're gonna say we're losing 10 pounds, that's perfect. We have to make sure that it's measurable. How are we going to check to make sure that we're actually achieving this goal? We are going to weigh ourselves once a week from the start point to whenever our end date is with the time bound, which we'll get into more in a second. The next one is A. Make sure it's actually achievable. So if it's not something that's possible, then you can't make that your goal, or you're just setting yourself up for failure. Let's look at example of the 10 pounds again. If you say, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks, first of all, what are you doing? You are setting yourself up for failure because that is not healthy nor safe. That's 5 pounds a singular week. That's not safe. Whatever you're doing, I don't know, quit it, okay? So let's make that a little bit more achievable. I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in 2 months. Because 2 months is about 8 weeks, so that's a little over 1.5 pounds a week. That's actually a lot more achievable than just saying, oh, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. R, relevant. We have to make sure that this goal is something we actually care about. Because first of all, 2 months is a long, long time. So if you don't actually care about making sure you lose your 10 pounds, then you're gonna get out of it. You're gonna convince yourself, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll go for that run tomorrow. I'll do it next week. And you miss one day and it's, oh, I'll do it later. If you don't actually care, you won't hold yourself to it. And that's what we're actually caring more about. Because consistency is far more important than your end goal. Because if you, for example, you get to the end of your 2 months and you say, well, I only lost 7 pounds, but I was consistent for those 8 weeks, then you've done yourself already good by being consistent. And then the final one is T, which I say should go right before S. But anyway, so basically you need to make sure that it has time, you have a timeline for it. And that's picking your 2 months. So that's effectively how to use SMART goals. And this is the best part. You can use it for literally anything. You can use it for, oh, I'm gonna beat this game. Oh, I'm gonna go lose 10 pounds. Oh, I'm gonna learn how to drive and get my license. You can apply this to anything you want in life just by using these 5 steps, which are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals.
Squidward.
I'm so failing this class.